What if I told you that the personality traits you hate most about yourself, anger, selfishness, jealousy, are your most excellent untapped sources of strength? That every time you try to eliminate these dark aspects of your personality, you're throwing away psychological gold that could make you more resilient, more authentic, and more powerful than you ever imagined. Carl Jung discovered something that will completely revolutionize how you see your flaws. Your shadow, those parts of yourself you've rejected and hidden, isn't your enemy. It's your secret weapon. The people who learn to integrate their shadow don't just become more resilient, they become unstoppable. I will show Jung's advanced shadow work techniques that transform your most significant weaknesses into powerful strengths. This isn't about becoming a better person, it's about becoming a whole person. Carl Jung didn't discover the shadow through academic study. He found it through a personal crisis. During his psychological breakdown from 1913 to 1919, Jung was forced to confront aspects of himself that he had spent his entire life trying to avoid. He experienced rage, jealousy, grandiosity, and what he called inferior emotions that contradicted his image as a rational, composed professional. Most people would have seen these experiences as pathological, something to be medicated, suppressed, or overcome. But Jung made a revolutionary choice. Instead of fighting these aspects of himself, he decided to dialogue with them. He began what he called active imagination, conversing with the parts of his personality he had rejected. What Jung discovered changed psychology forever. These negative aspects of his personality weren't random pathology. They were compensatory forces trying to balance his one-sided conscious development. His anger contained the vital energy he needed to assert boundaries. His grandiosity contained the confidence he needed to challenge established psychological theories. His jealousy contained information about his unmet needs and desires. Jung realized that negative emotions and traits are often positive qualities distorted by repression. When you push anger underground, it becomes rage. When you deny your need for recognition, it becomes grandiosity. When you suppress your competitive instincts, they become destructive envy. But here's the crucial insight. When you consciously integrate these shadow aspects instead of eliminating them, they become sources of tremendous strength and resilience. The person who has integrated their anger becomes assertive rather than aggressive. The person who has integrated their selfishness becomes self-caring rather than narcissistic. The person who has integrated their jealousy becomes motivated rather than resentful. This is why Jung said that individuation, the process of becoming whole, requires embracing your shadow, not eliminating it. The goal isn't to become perfect, it's to become complete. The psychology of shadow formation. How your shadow gets created. Your shadow begins forming in early childhood through a process Jung called splitting. As a child, you quickly learn which aspects of your personality are acceptable to your family, school, and society, and which are not. The unacceptable parts don't disappear. They get pushed into the unconscious, forming your shadow. For example, you learn to suppress your aggressive instincts if you grew up in a family where anger was never allowed. If you were taught that wanting attention was selfish, you pushed your need for recognition into the shadow. If competitiveness was discouraged, your drive to win became a source of shame. The problem is that these rejected aspects of your personality contain vital psychological energy. When you repress anger, you also repress assertiveness. When you deny your need for recognition, you also deny your natural confidence. When you suppress competitiveness, you also suppress your drive for excellence. The shadow's compensatory function. Jung discovered that the shadow serves a compensatory function. It contains the qualities your conscious personality lacks. If you've developed a persona as the nice person, your shadow contains your capacity for healthy selfishness and boundary setting. If you've identified as the rational person, your shadow contains your emotional intelligence and intuitive wisdom. This is why shadow work isn't about eliminating negative traits. It's about understanding what positive qualities are hidden within those traits. Your anger might contain your passion and your ability to fight for what matters. Your selfishness might contain your capacity for self-care and setting boundaries. Your jealousy might contain your competitive drive and clarity about what you want. The cost of shadow rejection. When you continuously reject your shadow, several destructive patterns emerge. Projection. You see and react strongly to your rejected qualities in other people. If you've dismissed your anger, you'll be triggered by angry people. If you've denied your neediness, you'll be irritated by needy people. Energy depletion. Maintaining the repression of shadow aspects requires enormous psychological energy. You become chronically tired from the effort of keeping parts of yourself hidden. Personality rigidity. You become one-dimensional and inflexible without access to your full range of human qualities. You can only respond to life from your narrow conscious identity. Explosive episodes. Repressed shadow material doesn't stay buried forever. It erupts in moments of stress, often in more destructive ways than if it had been consciously integrated. Lack of resilience. When life challenges your conscious identity, you have no psychological resources to draw upon. The nice person crumbles when they need to be assertive. The rational person falls apart when they need emotional intelligence. The integration revolution, building resilience through shadow work. Advanced Technique 1, Shadow Dialogue. Jung developed the most powerful shadow work technique, active imagination, consciously dialoguing with your rejected aspects. This isn't just visualization. It's a genuine conversation with parts of your psyche. Step 1. Identify your shadow trigger. Think of someone who consistently irritates or triggers you. What specific qualities in them create the strongest emotional reaction? These qualities often represent your shadow projections. Step 2. Personify the quality. Instead of seeing this quality as abstract, please give it a personality. If you're triggered by selfish people, imagine your selfishness as a character. What would this character look like? How would they speak? Step 3. Begin the dialogue. In a quiet space, have an actual conversation with this shadow figure. Ask questions like, "What do you want from me? What are you trying to protect? How could you serve me if I accepted you? What happens when I reject you?" Step 4. Listen without judgment. Allow responses to emerge naturally. Don't censor or judge what comes up. The shadow often has surprising wisdom and legitimate needs. Step 5. Find the integration. Ask the shadow figure, "How can I honor what you represent without being destructive?" Look for ways to express this quality consciously and constructively. For example, suppose you dialogue with your selfish shadow. In that case, you might discover it's trying to teach you about self-care, boundary setting, and honoring your needs, essential for resilience. Advanced Technique 2. The Shadow Strength Inventory. This technique helps you identify the hidden strengths within your rejected qualities. Step 1. List your negative traits. Write down the personality traits you most dislike about yourself or try to hide from others. Step 2. Find the core energy. For each trait, identify the core energy or drive beneath it. Anger, passion, boundary setting, fighting for values. Selfishness, self-care, knowing your needs, healthy boundaries. Jealousy, competitive drive, clarity about desires, motivation. Pride, confidence, self-respect, recognition of achievements. Laziness, need for rest, resistance to meaningless activity. Efficiency. Step 3. Conscious expression. For each shadow quality, develop ways to express its positive core consciously. Channel anger into passionate advocacy for causes you believe in. Transform selfishness into healthy self-care and boundary setting. Use jealousy as information about what you want to achieve. Convert pride into healthy confidence and self-appreciation. Advanced technique. 3. Shadow resilience training. This technique uses controlled exposure to build resilience through shadow integration. Week 1. Micro-expressions. Choose one shadow quality and practice expressing it in small, safe ways. If you've rejected assertiveness, practice saying no to small requests. If you've suppressed competitiveness, engage in friendly competition. Week 2. Conscious integration. When you notice your shadow quality emerging naturally, instead of suppressing it, pause and ask, how can I express this consciously and constructively? Practice channeling the energy rather than blocking it. Week 3. Stress testing. Deliberately put yourself in situations that typically trigger your shadow responses. Practice integrating these qualities under pressure rather than suppressing or being overwhelmed. Week 4. Authentic expression. Begin expressing your integrated shadow qualities as part of your authentic personality. Let people see your full range of human attributes, not just your acceptable persona. Advanced Technique 4. The Shadow Council. This technique involves creating an internal council of your shadow aspects to provide guidance and resilience. Step 1. Identify your shadow council members. Recognize 3 to 5 distinct shadow aspects that represent different rejected qualities. Give each one a name and personality. Step 2. Regular council meetings. Weekly, have an imaginary meeting with your shadow council. Present them with current challenges and ask for their perspectives. Step 3. Integrated decision-making. When facing difficult decisions, consult your shadow council. What would your selfish aspect advise about self-care? What would your angry aspect say about boundaries? What would your competitive aspect suggest about goals? Step 4. Shadow wisdom integration. Use insights from your shadow council to make more balanced, resilient decisions that honor your full humanity rather than just your conscious ideals. Modern applications and resilience case studies. Case Study 1. The People Pleaser's Shadow. Maria was a chronic people pleaser who burned out trying to make everyone happy. Through shadow work, she discovered her rejected, selfish aspect. Shadow dialogue. Maria's selfish shadow revealed it was trying to protect her needs and energy. It wanted her to have boundaries and self-respect. Integration practice. Maria began practicing conscious selfishness, saying no to requests that drained her, prioritizing her needs and asking for what she wanted. Resilience result. Instead of burning out from people-pleasing, Maria became more resilient by honoring her desire to help others and her need for self-care. Her relationships improved because she was more authentic and less resentful. Case Study 2. The Nice Guy's Anger. David prided himself on being the nice guy, but found himself passive-aggressive and resentful in conflicts. His shadow work revealed suppressed anger. Shadow integration. David learned to channel his anger into passionate advocacy for his values and clear boundary setting. He practiced expressing disagreement directly rather than passive-aggressively. Resilience outcome. David became more resilient in conflicts because he could access his full range of responses. He could be both compassionate and assertive, kind and firm. Case Study 3. The Rational Professional's Emotions. Sarah was a successful executive who prided herself on rational decision-making, but struggled with team dynamics and personal relationships. Her shadow contained her rejected emotional intelligence. Shadow work process. Sarah dialogued with her emotional shadow and discovered it contained valuable information about team morale, relationship dynamics, and her needs. Integration strategy. Sarah began incorporating emotional intelligence into her leadership style, using rational analysis and emotional awareness in decision-making. Resilience enhancement. Sarah became more resilient as a leader because she could navigate both logical and emotional challenges. Her teams became more engaged, and her relationships improved. Your Shadow Integration Challenge. Here's your practical challenge for building resilience through shadow work. Week 1. Shadow Identification. Identify your top 3 shadow triggers, people or situations that create strong emotional reactions. Use these as clues to your own rejected aspects. Week 2. Shadow Dialogue. Practice the shadow dialogue technique with one of your identified shadow aspects. Have at least 3 conversations, asking what this aspect wants and how it could serve you. Week 3. Conscious Integration. Begin expressing your shadow quality in small, conscious ways. If it's anger, practice healthy assertiveness. Suppose it's selfishness, practice self-care. If it's competitiveness, engage in healthy competition. Week 4. Resilience testing. Put yourself in a challenging situation and practice accessing your integrated shadow qualities for resilience. Notice how having access to your full personality range makes you stronger and more adaptable. Remember Jung's profound insight. You don't become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's your untapped reservoir of strength, creativity, and resilience. The people who learn to integrate their shadow become more resilient, authentic, robust, and fully human. They can respond to life's challenges from their complete personality, rather than just their conscious ideals. Your dark side isn't something to eliminate, it's something to integrate. When you stop fighting your shadow and start working with it, you discover that your most significant weaknesses were always your most significant strengths in disguise. If this video helped you see your negative traits in a new light, hit that like button and subscribe for more psychological insights that transform your life. Next week, we're exploring Viktor Frankl's meaning-making process, how to convert any experience, no matter how difficult, into a source of purpose and strength. Comment below and tell me, what's one shadow aspect you're ready to integrate using Jung's approach? I read every comment, and often feature the most insightful responses in future videos. Remember, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Your shadow is waiting to become your greatest ally. Are you ready to meet it?